Hi, everybody. It's Mr. Renner, and it's Friday today. And that means that we're going to finish up theme nine and also finish up the story about the girl wanting to get a dress that was made in a factory. Okay. Let's go over a little bit about what we remember from that story from yesterday, and then we'll continue reading. Okay. Let's go. So here we see a picture. She noticed that there were kids working in this factory. She's visiting a cotton factory with her mother 111 years ago. That was 1909. That was a long time ago. But things like this would happen back when she was living in this country, even. Here's the way she described it. Children work in the hot, dark factory from 7 in the morning until 6 at night. They work to help their families pay for food and housing. The children do not go to school. A ready made dress takes a great deal of work. Elizabeth. These children couldn't go to school. They couldn't stay home and play either, though. They had to go to work, and they worked really hard all day. Here, it says until 6 o'clock at night. On the next page, we'll see that they had to stay even later. You don't have to do that in the United States anymore. And we'll talk a little bit about why. But it was a big deal. As we continue on, let's see what else she sees. And does she decide to buy that dress out of the catalog? Dear Diary, it's October 2nd, 1909. Dear Diary, yesterday we visited the Everett Cotton Mill. A man named Mr. Miller gave us a tour. We went to the weaving room. Weaving is another name for sewing. It was filled with big looms. I had to shout to talk with Mama because of the noise. The cloth from this mill will be cut into dresses at another factory. Today, we got to New York City. On the way to our hotel, Mother pointed out some wooden buildings. She said that people ate, slept, and sewed dresses in those buildings. Young girls helped thread needles and sew buttons. They often worked 6 days a week until 9 o'clock at night. That meant, let's see, 6 days a week until 9 o'clock at night. They wouldn't have a full weekend. They would only have Sundays off, and they had to work from morning until 9 o'clock at night every other day. Doesn't that sound crazy? There is a scarcity of jobs. These people work for little money, not much money. A scarcity means that there's not enough of something. So there isn't enough jobs for everybody who wants one. And when that happens, that means you don't get paid very much. If everybody wants a job, then they can just pay very, very little. October 12th, 1909. Okay, dear diary, we all returned home today. I saw the wish book catalog on my bed. Do you remember what she wanted to buy? She wanted to buy a dress out of a catalog. I'll show you an example. But I wonder if she changed her mind. I caught myself looking at the white cotton dress again. I thought about all the children who helped to make that dress. They work near dangerous machines. They do not make much money. Those children do not get to go to school and play like I do. Mama asked me what I want for my birthday. I told her I do not want the white dress anymore. So instead, we're fixing to have a big picnic with sweet tea and pecan pie. I am going to invite some children of the workers here in town. I was mighty sad about all the work they do to help make ready made dresses. I'll be happier to play outside with my new friends at my birthday picnic. Elizabeth. So we find out here all the children help make dresses working with dangerous machines. That was only 100 years ago. There was children who helped to make dresses working on dangerous machines. Those children don't get to go to school. They don't get to learn how to read, write, or add. They don't get to play. Is that the same or different from the way that we live right now? Remember, when we all talk about comparing and contrasting, we use this thing right here. This is in your packet, and this is one of the last pages in your packet. Actually, it is the last page in your packet. It's one of the things we're going to do now. And we actually told you this. On this side, we have things that are happening now, but were not happening in the story. Now, in Minnesota, kids must be 14 to deliver newspapers, work on farms, or be a referee for a little kid's game. So there are some jobs you can have when you're 14, but not most jobs. They have to go to school now. They cannot do other jobs. Now, in the United States, kids have to go to school. You can't work for another job. It's the adults who take care of you that have to work for jobs and get money. I also know some of these factories can still be like just a really long, it must be really tiring. And even today, some of those factories still make you stand around and work for really, really long hours. And they are just in faraway places. You should look and see on the clothes that you have, where were they bought? I'm just going to show you. This is an example of what a catalog looks like. These clothes were made in a factory. The factory, as I said, you should check and see where some of them are made. But this is just what a catalog looks like. They have a picture. It's printed on paper. Today, this is old. Today, you can go on the internet and see this. But before, they would print it and send it to everybody so that you could see what was for sale. You would look and say, oh, I like these things. You could see a jacket. Was that $200? And they would have this number. And that was how you would order it. You would say, I want this jacket with this number. And then you would send them the money and they would send it back. You can also get the t-shirt. And I think on another page, they would talk about the pants. So it's just kind of something like that. Here is a dress that people would talk about. You could barely see it over here, but they have the price and everything over here. They still have some of these things, and that still is the way people buy some clothes. You can go to a store, but sometimes you can go and find these pictures where it tells you the price. That's what a catalog is, and that's the way that they were using that's the way that they would buy some of their clothes, which are still made in factories. Most people don't really sew their own clothes anymore. Your workbook pages, I'm sorry. Your workbook pages are the last 2 pages in the packet. On September 20th, 1909, you can find in the book, and that's where the answers are. September 24th, that's where the answers are. What kind of machine is the weaving room filled with? This is one of the hard ones, so I'm just going to tell you. It's here. We went to the weaving room. It was filled with big looms. Looms, I don't know if we have a picture of them. No, we don't. But looms they're like gigantic sewing machines, and it says they're really loud. She had to shout in order to talk with her mom. That's what the answer is here. That was a hard one. It's called a big loom. Here's the last question for the book, and then I want you to finish this part up. The differences. Now in Minnesota, you have to be 14 to do some work. Everybody else has to wait until they're an adult to work. You have to go to school. You cannot do any other jobs. Similarities, kids have jobs. Now you have to go to school. When you're 14, you can do some work. In the story, how is it different? You have to put down some examples, okay? I look forward to seeing some of these things, and I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to do your spelling test. Okay. Have a good day, everyone.